Hello, everyone, and welcome to Building a Podcast. I'm your host, Thomas Obi-Wan EpikBricks, better known as. And with me today, we have two fine fellows as well. First off, we have Ethan, the Brick Chef, and
Hello.
Nate, EpikBricks.
How's it going, everybody?
Oh, man. So glad to be able to do this show with you today, Nate. We're really excited to get into our interview portion a little bit later here. But first off, we're going to let Ethan take away the news for the week.
Yes, let's just get right into the news. News is a little light this week. We'll go over the sales starting off. Let me get them up here. Same sales from last week on Lego. They've taken quite a bit off, but I just wanted to go over these quickly still. You get the big stadium there. That's over $100 off there. Really awesome. Queer Eye still on sale. Yes.
I would have waited on that one. I bought that for my girlfriend for the 100.
Yeah.
It came out.
Yeah.
I know.
Then I think this one wasn't there last week. The little magnet, some BrickHeads pets. Those are always really cool. Little gifts. The wedding groom is there. Some stunt bikes. Those are really cool with the little push motors, and they just go. They'll go crazy.
Those are kind of fun. I think a couple of those at
the
Walmart
bride as well. Yeah, those stunt bikes are super, super cool. Some keychains are on sale as well. And then I think to round it out there, we just have some Mario sets and then a fun little Duplo photo frame. That's interesting. But yeah, Lego doesn't usually have those sales very often, so it's definitely nice to see those.
Especially 40% off. That's a huge amount of Lego.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, Lego really doesn't do sales like that.
Even in store with a damaged box, at best, you might get bonus VIP points. They won't even discount it anymore.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Just moving along here with the stream here. We got newly revealed sets there. So we already got a sneak peek. We got the Hulkbuster is the new set that was revealed. Very, very big Marvel set there. Big price point at $550. I believe it comes with 4,049 pieces. So quite the difference there if you're a price to piece person. It's a very big set too. I think for scale, the lighthouse is pretty much the same height as this set.
Yeah,
it's very,
huge.
very, very big. Much bigger than its previous version, I think, that came out in the mid 2010s. They're both based off the same version. Do you guys have any thoughts on this big set?
I'm looking at like source photos like of the actual Hulkbuster, like from the MCU and a couple other things, and it looks great, but it's almost too thin. And I think that's what I was seeing from other people is it's not like bulky enough. His legs and his arms don't seem thick enough, but they look amazing. No doubt.
Yeah, the detail is really phenomenal for it. I honestly felt like when we saw like the first leaked pictures of it, it looked almost better than when I saw the rest of the pictures. There's just something, and maybe it's the way that they accommodated for the buildable Iron Man to fit inside, that it just seems slightly off.
There's a
on
buildable Iron
proportions.
Man.
Yeah, well, they're letting you fit the old buildable Iron Man that they came out with like a couple of years ago.
Not
inside.
even. I think it came out
just this
like
last year.
Just this past year.
Yeah,
it's like a smaller $40 set. I don't know if you know about the new like Spider-Man figures, buildable figures per se. It's basically the same size as that, and it's just Iron Man.
Do you have to like does his whole body fit in there? Or do you have to like take him apart?
No, yeah, his whole body. He basically comes out to about the same size as the torso of this thing.
Okay.
Like it seems like they designed it around that to be able to fit inside of it. Because
that seems like a weird way to go. Because if they didn't design it that way, they could have made everything, I think, a little bit better. They almost sacrificed some quality there.
It's like it needs to be chunkier almost, you know?
Yeah, because I watched the speed build of it, and it's pretty much just like a hollow box under there. And then
the upper torso looks right as far as thickness. But everything below that and around that is too thin. Like his abdomen, way too thin, and then the joints to his hips are almost just non-existent.
Yeah, he's definitely very wonky looking. I also think his shoulders aren't they're not big enough, if that makes sense. They don't seem like they wrap around enough.
Yeah, I see what you mean by that.
I'm a huge
Um,
Marvel fan. I just don't see myself getting this one.
Yeah, no. I
yeah.
mean, it's definitely very expensive for what it is. It's
And I
Well,
definitely
got
this,
Bowser, which is a really similar. It's just a big figure, with a ton of
yeah.
pieces like that. And I bought that. That was justifiable for me, but I don't see this one for me.
yeah, no. I think maybe too what's driving the price up on this is like there's a lot of gold lacquered pieces that previously weren't
Mhm.
in that finish that they're now doing just for this set. I don't know. I would have maybe liked to. It would have been cool if this was the like Infinity War version of the Hulkbuster and not the remake of the Ultron one.
And there was speculation that they were going to do it off of the Infinity War version, but
I
Yeah,
figured they would do it so much more relevant now, and they're still
right,
making
exactly.
Infinity War content or products essentially.
Yes.
yeah. So yeah, definitely a very interesting choice with this one. Gonna come with the normal plaque as always, but I don't know. I don't see this one being very, very popular.
That's $100 Iron Man though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right, day
Yeah,
one.
holy cow. Yeah.
But yeah, no, Marvel's been kind of doing this recently. This is their second very large scale set, in my opinion, now that is very steep.
Did that Iron Man not have printed legs? The Tony Stark?
No, yeah, just
Oh man.
Just
blank
black pants,
black
right?
legs.
Need
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
pockets, some
I
something.
know. Any kind
Yeah.
of detail on there. Well, plus this is the most expensive Marvel set that they've ever released, is it not? I
I
believe.
Probably.
At that
believe
price point,
so.
I don't think they've
Yeah,
ever released
I
anything
think
more expensive.
so.
Yeah.
I
I
think
think
you're right.
second to that is Bugle or something. I could be
Oh
wrong.
yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
Helicarrier or something. I don't know how much the
Yeah, it
old
might be the
Helicarrier costs.
helicarrier, but yeah. Yeah, real quick,
Yeah.
want to say hi to Matt. He's in the chat.
Oh,
Hey, how's it
hey
Um,
going,
Matt.
Matt?
But yeah, moving right along, the Witch GWP Creator 3-in-1 is still going. That's a super cool GWP, I think. Still waiting on my order that has.
Did
So
that just drop on the first, or I
that
didn't see that
came
one yet?
on the 14th
Oh, okay,
of
that's why I
this
haven't seen
month.
it yet. I've got
Yeah.
about 5
So
of the poly bags, so
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
People, I have a ton of the Pirates ones. I'll have soon a bunch of the Halloween ones. So
I'm guessing that's gonna be a new theme, is those themed poly bags
yeah, I
for
think
gift
they've
purchase.
already announced. We'll probably
I'm all
talk
about
about
it.
it
Yeah, they're
more
fun.
when it comes, but I think they've already announced the winter one that they'll be doing in
Too easy.
November.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Right around the corner.
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll honestly continue to see these, and they're nice. They're nice little part packs.
Yeah.
And then we are just gonna go over the retired sets, like always, because I think it's important to go over them and show you guys what's retiring before it's gone, because those aftermarket prices are always ridiculous.
Oh
And
yeah.
we still have the big three.
Mhm.
They're all there.
I gotta do the Disney Castle. I gotta get one
Yeah.
for the
I
girlfriend and one
know.
for investments. So
Yes.
Yes, exactly. And it's on back order, so I would order it soon before, you know, who knows?
my Lego
Seinfeld.
store's got it usually.
Yeah, the Lego stores have been having them recently. So I know my Lego store has the Star Destroyer.
Mhm.
Is the T-Rex breakout retired yet?
That one was gone last
Oh,
year.
okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I never got that set.
And it was never even in my store. That's how bad
Yeah.
it
Wow.
was.
Yeah.
Like,
The
and
boot.
usually I can almost find any set I want if I call the store ahead of time, be like, hey, you get a
Mhm.
shipment, and I can go in that morning and it's there. But that one I never even saw on shelves.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and
And
if
the
you
boot.
have a Discovery Center, you can also check there too, because you're gonna have totally different stock too. So
That's an hour drive for me.
no, no,
Yeah.
don't do that then.
No, I got to go see Alex soon, actually.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
that'd be fun.
Alec is
I haven't seen
awesome.
him in a while.
Alec.
Sorry to get us off track.
No,
Not at all.
That's my motto, basically.
Yeah, it's all
I will
good here.
derail the conversation. 4 times in a conversation.
Hey, you know what? There are no rails on this podcast.
Exactly.
Only guidelines.
And then the Bugatti. I don't know about you guys, but I've not seen this in a Lego store in a very long
I
time.
feel like that's been out for like 5 years.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the
it's been up for a
second.
while.
It was the second large scale, like super detailed Technic
Like,
car.
I feel like
after
when I got
the,
back into Lego like 4 or 5, like when I first got back in, I feel like that was one of the sets that I knew was a big buzz set at the time.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and that one will definitely be worth a lot once it's retired.
Any of those big cars, I feel like, where it's
Mhm.
just the car community does that.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
exactly.
definitely. Yeah.
Central Perk is going to be gone. That was a very, very popular set. Unbeatable deal for what it is.
Yeah, it's good amount of minifigs for $60,
Yeah,
and
and
especially
pieces
those
as well.
unique ones too.
And the Fiat is going to be gone. The Mickey
Yeah,
Mouse and it builds.
yeah.
Never was a big fan of those, but that'll be gone if that's your thing. The Superstar and then the original Stadium Old Trafford.
How do you
All
think the
gonna
Superstar shoe is going to do long run? Do you think that's going to be like a random one that people want later on?
Yeah, I think so.
And I
I
think it's
think
good. The packaging is so cool. It's like
Oh
an
It
yeah.
actual.
is, it is,
When I
yeah.
bought
Yeah.
mine at Target, the lady literally opened it up and was like confused because she was looking to check the shoes because that's what you do at a retail store.
Yeah.
And she was just so bewildered. I'm like, nah, it's a Lego set.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
No, exactly.
I actually saw one of these boxes in the shoe section at one point.
11 out of 10 packaging.
Well, yeah, I have a
Yes.
funny, like, more honestly, more morbid story about it.
Oh,
But like,
no.
my friend went to actually pick this one up for me, like early morning. It's such a weird time for this to happen, but early in the morning, and he got like mugged
Oh my
with
god.
this because I'm assuming the
What?
guy thought it was like actual
A big
shoes.
shoe drop,
Oh,
like one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
no.
And it was just a Lego
Yeah.
set. Thankfully, my
Oh
friend
my
knows how to
gosh.
defend himself, and everything was fine. But yeah, this weird.
Yeah.
I just
I
imagine
mean,
the guy running away.
Like,
exactly.
what's this?
These aren't shoes. But yeah, no. So those are our retired sets. So yeah,
Good list.
that brings us into the element of the week.
Ooh, it's spooky. Continuing on our
Yes.
spooky theme for Halloween. So this week we've got a very classic part to look at. This is the bat. It's part number 30103, and this piece was introduced back in 1997 in one of my favorite themes, the Fright Nights. Actually, it comes in 3 colors, kind of. It's really 4 colors if you want to be technical. If you notice, for those who are watching currently, we've got black, dark gray, dark bluish gray, and tan. For those of you who are not aware, Lego changed its color format for dark gray and light gray, as well as brown, and a few other things over the years. But this is in the early 2000s. It was a whole big deal back then, and now nobody even really remembers dark gray at this point. It looks very dingy, and that was the intent of changing to bluish gray. Anyway, let's look at some of the featured uses of this part. So the first notable usage is in the Bat Lord, and this was he's also known as Basil, which you may notice that reference from the most recent castle set that came out. There's a letter that was from Lord Basil, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah, which I thought was a really cool note on there. But yeah, that's Basil the Bat Lord, and that was in set number 6007. I still have my my black. I'm looking for it, but I have a box full of animals, and they're somewhere over there. But yeah, I still have my my black dragon.
Yeah, those
from that
old
set.
dragons are really cool. But
So
about
cool.
that.
Yes. And then we also have, this is the most interesting probably of all the sets that have used the bat in 12 Grimwald Place just this year. Check it out. The only tan usage of this piece. And it's like up in a corner. If you look at the image there, I
What
don't
is it
really know
supposed
what's
to
going
What are
be?
they
on.
supposed? Yeah, what are they supposed to be?
I
Like-
don't know. I mean,
Like,
Matt
I
was
can only
asking if
think
it was like an
lamps or
architectural element
something.
or yeah.
Well,
Like a
maybe a
little
coat
chandelier
hanger.
lamp. That's the only thing I can think of.
I just figured it was a bat
funny.
that did not get enough sunlight.
Yeah.
That's the only
funny.
place they use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Well, there's 2 of them in that set actually.
Yeah, I see 'em
Yeah,
side
and
by
you can see them
side.
both on top there. Yeah, so it's got to be like a bat light or something like that.
That's
I
a
don't know.
bed below it, I take it.
Yeah, yeah,
It looks
Okay.
like it. Yeah.
yeah.
It's just
Isn't
a
that
weird, very
Like
weird.
I was thinking
use.
like a
But-
chandelier head, like just a lamp or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But if you notice on there, I also included the statistic from the last 6 months sales. This bat piece is going for an average of $1.96. Well, maybe what is it? It's actually $2.19 on average, because that's the only set it's ever come in, and it's kind of weird and unique. I
need
mean,
to know
otherwise
what
a
it
bat
is.
is like 5 cents.
Because it would
Yeah,
seem weird
exactly.
that to make something like, if it is a lamp or something, like why would you need to specifically mold that piece in a new color to get across?
Right.
They almost could
Right.
have used like a bajillion other pieces, but again, I don't know what it's supposed to be.
Well, it's funny. This is the second week in a row that we've looked at an element where Harry Potter decides that they want to take an element that's never been used in this color before and just do it for one set. Because last week we looked at the pumpkin piece, which is normally red or orange, but for some reason they've used it once in a dark tan for Hermione's wand in the big buildable minifig set.
Okay, yeah.
Which is so interesting. It's just
I guess if they already have the mold, it can't be too hard to draft it in a new color. It's more about the new mold itself, as long as they have the mold. But even then, odd. Very odd.
Because making molds is hard.
Yeah, isn't that
weird?
This
is the kind of subject that I love, obviously, with some of the videos I post and pricing on stuff. Like, this is one of those, like, oh, dinky little tan bat, $2. Okay.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that weird? I'm like, with $2 for this tan bat. I mean, come on. The rest of the bats, you get a handful of them for $2.
I wonder if it's available on Lego Bricks and Pieces yet, because they've been very good about adding their, like, I think they just recently added like a bunch of the most recent parts onto it.
Yeah.
Because I've been noticing sometimes it's just like way more like cost effective to order from Lego directly. Even the shipping may take
they
longer.
Only have it in black.
Oh, wow.
Figures. Yeah, it always just depends on the piece, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. So other than that, there's really only been one other variant, and this is a weird one. For those who are watching, you can see this. It is so they made the bat in like a like a headless form, and it's for it was with the 2019 Lego Movie 2, and this was the Shimmer and Shine Sparkle Spa, and I feel like this was just such a brief and passing character moment that I didn't even remember having seen that. Like, I remember the scene, but I did not remember this character. It's Balthazar the Vampire Bat. And so basically you can fit one of the Friends mini doll heads onto this bat. It is really weird.
Is that the same dimensions for a minifigure hand to clip on there?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah.
That would be a cool accessory.
Yeah, it would be.
True.
It says it's dark blue, but it looks sparkly, but maybe it's just the image, maybe it's just the glossiness, but it does look like it has a shimmer in
glossy.
it.
Yeah, it's weird. It's definitely very, because I see the point. It's like those old movies where like the vampire will actually turn into a small bat instead of like a weird big version of a bat. So it's just his head. I don't know. It's just weird looking.
This is one of those situations where that has to be a unique mold for the head, right? That doesn't get used in that.
No, definitely not. I feel like a lot of the Friends heads end up being very unique.
Oh no, it's a hairpiece on a head. I thought it was all in one mold.
That's definitely a very unique hairpiece, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a weird.
That looks like an all-in-one mold, but I guess it's not. That's a really cool hairpiece, actually. That's probably the
I like that it's transparent. It's like transparent teal or dark azure
with the sparkles. I don't know. It's definitely very, very nice to look at.
I want to put it on Jack 14. I think that would look cool.
Oh yeah,
all of the sparkly blue he's got.
Yeah, well, and you could put any mini doll
fit
head on that bat too. So put Scooby Doo's head on the bat if you wanted. just to be weird, or Scrappy Doo on the bat. Anyway, well, that's really it. I mean, so I want to open it up, guys. Do you have any other favorite uses for this part? I mean, for me, it's really just every instance in the Fright Nights theme because I just was so fond of that.
I mean, the bat, it's almost hard to use it anything but a bat, but apparently Harry Potter proved us wrong there with whatever the heck they used it as.
Yeah, I know. Occasionally I've seen it used. It's still a bat, but not directly as a bat, like an ornamental statue of a bat.
Yeah, because it's not a real bat in the Lego universe.
Right.
Yeah, like a decorative bat. So I like it when they use it like that.
They've used it a lot of
a better, like a studded one where it just has a stud on the belly and then maybe has some wings going to the side, because they got like butterflies and stuff that do that same kind of like it's a stud. I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. It definitely, would be very interesting. But yeah, I think that's gonna bring us to our main segment. Yes.
A very old picture too. I love it.
So I may have taken. I scrolled through TikTok until I found like a good full torso shot, and I was like, "Oh, that's the great one with the minigun."
You should have asked me. I could have got you.
Oh yeah, I
just wanted to
surprise
you. Currently disassembled right now, so I can't even show it.
Oh man!
Oh dang!
Too bad.
Ever since I got back from Brick Fair, it's been disassembled.
Oh yeah,
totally fair.
Just the process of packing it all up to move it.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's a pain.
But yeah, so like our last time we had a guest, it'll be more of an interview based for the rest of the podcast. And we're just going to go ahead and get it started with our first question.
Sweet.
So, Nate, what is your favorite Lego theme?
It's hard to say because by volume, I think most people probably say Star Wars, and I could probably say that because I probably have the most Star Wars sets out of any set. But all in all, it's hard to say. I really just I like a lot of ideas. I like Marvel, and then the icons, obviously. But if I had to put one, I have to split it into childhood and then adult too, because childhood theme was definitely adventurers. But
Oh,
then
yeah.
nowadays,
Yeah.
I still love it, but there's nothing to like continue collecting with it other than going back. So
Yeah.
as far as today, I gotta say Star Wars. It's a
Yeah.
tie between Star Wars and ideas.
That's a fair answer.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yep, absolutely. Now, to kind of break it down to a little bit more niche of that, do you have a favorite Lego set?
Favorite Lego set? I think it's got to be the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Oh, yeah.
It's inspired me to actually do customization and mod it and make the levels 2 and 3. And I still want to even try to make more, but I'm going to need custom parts at that point. I need a printed gray warp tube so I can do the castles.
Oh yeah,
I guess I could just do plain like gray tiles, but then obviously you want that full effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love all of your different level videos that you've done. They're super, super cool.
Those are
Honestly,
inspired.
they're not crazy hard, but they're fun to do because you actually have to like make it work. You can't slap a picture up there and expect it to run through. You got to plan how he goes up and how he's going to drop down, and then you just kind of use the original. I've always used the original set to kind of help me and guide me.
Well, and being able to do it as a loop too. Like, I mean, like you have to have the start and end point line up with each other.
Essentially, yeah.
That's really cool how you've been able to accomplish that, and you really captured the essence of those other two levels.
Thank you.
You know, it's like you look at it and you're like, oh, obviously it's level 2 with the series of jumps down there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the two shaped blue things. I'm not making a lot of sense. I'm using weird words.
No,
but
we,
you know
all,
I mean. Yeah.
all us Mario fans are like, yeah, we know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the two blue things, and yeah. Totally. It was really cool. I enjoyed watching you do those. And so did you render those in the studio beforehand?
Yeah, I did studio. Yeah. I just pulled up like a blank. I just figured out how big the track was and kind of lined it up. And then the other thing with that is since it is on a track, you can't have a tile go from one part of the track over studs to the other part of the track. So it all has to be very either 2x2s or 1x1s basically to make it work. It was really fun.
Wow.
And then on the other side of that, favorite childhood set is the Chrome Crusher from Rock Raiders.
Yes. Oh man, I have the Tunnel Transport right around the corner here. It's also one of my favorites. But the Chrome Crusher probably it just edges it out.
Is that the one you have the one with the other one with the drill?
No, the Tunnel Transport has the 4.
Oh, that's the flying one. That's the flying one.
Yeah. Oh, he's going to grab it. Getting his.
I don't get how that thing would transport anything through a tunnel, but.
Yeah,
it's pretty big.
There we go. Yeah, it's this one, and he's got the. I dropped his little transport thing underneath while I was bringing it over here. But yeah, I just love the color scheme of the Rock Raiders too. That was one of my favorite themes as a kid because I don't know that teal and the brown. Ooh, we got dust flying out the propellers too. Get that out of here.
The only one I don't have from that theme is the HQ.
Oh yeah, and that's is that a unique base plate for that set? I wonder.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Usually those base plates are. That's why I love them so much and make videos about them from time to time. Because they're just they're a huge part of my childhood, and people call them cheating. But at this, sure, they're yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't call it cheating, but at the same time, from a kid's perspective, to be able to just throw down one piece and you've already got 80% of the work done.
Yeah.
As a kid, you don't always have the resources or the storage to actually build something before it gets destroyed by your little brother or something.
Yeah.
So to have a base that looked cool and made you feel like, oh, I could set up a stash of weapons in here and then build on top of that. That was always fun.
Yeah, those vacuum form base plates were just I loved them. I had quite a few of those raised ones. I only have 2 now for a couple of the old castles. Yeah. Those are cool.
No, those raised base plates are super, super cool. And then moving on to more kind of personal side of Lego. Do you remember what first drew you to Lego as a kid? What made you?
Honestly, it's one of those things. I got into it so young. My parents bought me tons of toys, Lego being one of them, and it's just migrated into it kind of deal. It was Lego video games and Pokemon cards for me. I had other toys, but not really too many that I can remember.
Yeah.
Now, how about when you started growing up? A lot of us have a period where we kind of, you know,
Our dark
walk
ages.
away. Yeah. So, what was your relationship like with Lego?
So
Kind of
want to
moving
say I
into
was like
adulthood.
14, 15, probably about the general age. A lot of people end up like phasing out or just getting
Yep.
caught up with life, and that's basically what it was. I
Sure.
had to move. I had to move high schools a couple times, and just random stuff that didn't make the collection after that point easy to manage because it was all destroyed. But
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yep. Yep.
went from about 14 or 15 till I was, I think, 26 is when I got back. I'm 29 now. I'll be 30 in December. But so I've been
Woo-woo.
back into it for 3 or 4 years now. About a 10-year hiatus.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Luckily, the
Wow.
parents kept it all. My mom was one of those people like, nope, we're keeping that, and your grandchildren are
Yeah.
getting them. Like, I don't know if you're gonna get any
Yes.
grandchildren from me, but thanks for keeping them for.
Honestly, my parents did the same thing. I mean, I had, all boxed up in my parents' shed, and it's like a miracle that they were still in perfect shape, and, when I came back to the hobby, it was like, you know, there they are.
Yeah,
Did you
I
sort
have.
everything when you got your collection back?
Oh, man, I made a boo-boo when I got it back, and I, like, took everything apart and sorted it into color, and so then it took me forever to, like,
Build anything?
actually organize it. It was a pain in the butt, but then like, rebuilt probably a good 40 or so sets out of those, so that was
I
fun.
wish I kind of like I organized my childhood parts, but I only ended up building like some of the Bionicles and a few of the
Yeah.
like the Chrome Crusher I had. But then I kind of left the rest of it because I knew that over the years, like wouldn't be missing a lot, but all of the sets would be missing something
Oh, of
to a point
course,
where
yeah.
and I wasn't a super responsible Lego caretaker as a kid. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah.
like I don't even have. I know we had the set for it, but I don't even have my sand red battle droids that I knew we
Yeah.
had the set for. I'm like,
Oh,
those are
man,
gone. Those are
yeah.
nowhere to be
Yeah.
found.
Oh, that's funny. Yep.
No, I'm a little on the younger side because I'm 22 now. So I
Okay.
have
Mhm.
two pretty young little brothers, both under 10. So I have like half of my childhood Legos back. I was able to convince them to give me some back. And I honestly was like, because I had a lot of sets. Like one of the big sets I had as a kid was the original playset Death Star.
Oh
Um,
heck yeah.
Whew.
that was something I
Yeah.
had, and I just didn't even bother. I was like, I know I'm not gonna be able to find everything. Like,
How could you? That many
yeah, I was
gray
just like, I'm
pieces.
gonna use this bulk Lego just to like get myself started if I want to build mocks and stuff like that. So I never was able to build back any of my sets.
Ah, it's a bummer. Yeah, my parents saved all the boxes and
Oh
99% of the
wow.
instructions. I still have all the instructions and all I have, Lego Mania magazine from 1992 on through, to the point where it changed to Lego whatever it was after that. So, in the early 2000s. Crazy. Yep. Good reference.
So getting out of that dark age, was there something that specific, like a set or something that was happening that got you back into Lego?
Honestly, it was kind of just the thought. Like I started watching Lego content, like EpikBricks and stuff like that, and I started to realize
Yes.
like, oh, cool, like there's a whole community for this. Like I could get into that. You know what I mean? I can get back into that, and that's
Yeah.
kind of where it started. Was like started watching content and realizing like, I enjoyed that as a kid. Why wouldn't I enjoy it now? And I ended up going. I don't even think I bought many sets right off the bat. I more just went and got my collection from my parents. Started the sorting
Mhm.
process. And then that kind of got me into, I didn't even do a lot of building right off the bat like I intended to do because I got into reselling and then I got
Oh,
into
yeah.
content creation very soon after that because I was like, oh, I can make this into somewhat of a business and share my enthusiasm with other people and hopefully maybe one day do it full time. And that sounded like a cool deal. So I just went full in and just kind of started getting it, like just literally indulging in Lego every little, I started really heavily with collecting Star Wars figs. I haven't really been adding to the collection lately. Most of my collecting for the Star Wars minifigure collection came from reselling. I would just keep stuff that I didn't have, sell the rest, and usually come back with a little more. And that's kind of how I just passively built up my minifigure collection. But I haven't gone out and bought many Star Wars figs lately, other than ones I'm getting in sets.
That
Wow,
makes sense,
wow.
yeah. So, it sounds like, the kind of watching other creators is what got you both back into Lego and also into being a content creator yourself then? Is that
Absolutely, just
yeah,
like influenced by other creators, 100%.
yeah. Is there anyone in particular you remember kind of jumping out at
Jang
you?
Bricks. I'm forgetting the one name because a couple of them are actually like Bricklink content creators. so they're not as notable, and don't have as many subscribers, but they were some of my favorites because it was the information is what I wanted.
Yeah.
You know?
That's cool.
EpikBricks is definitely the top dog that got me inspired.
Yeah, he's super cool. He's so many channels, and the way he does, I was always just drawn in by his massive city that he has.
Oh yeah, I think that's what probably caught my eye first. Was like, holy crap, there's people with cities in their rooms. You know what I mean? And he's so like he just seems like a very respectful guy, like outwardly from his content, and he just like I always felt he was unbiased or tried to be unbiased for most things, and he didn't just crap on Lego every time something would be a little bit off.
Yeah,
at least I don't think from what I saw back.
Like we know some people
honestly. As far as watching YouTube, I don't watch any YouTube content anymore.
Yeah,
I don't blame you.
Not that it's bad. I just don't have the time. That was my whole childhood. Was just ripping through YouTube videos.
Oh yeah,
a day after day.
Yeah, the short form has definitely taken off a lot, and it makes it a lot easier to chunk out.
I don't
content.
I don't watch much Lego YouTube.
I watch too much TikTok. That's a problem, though.
Yeah,
I hear you.
Exactly. So for those who don't know who you are, which is probably not very many people, because you are very popular on TikTok, what kind of content do you primarily focus on? I know it's kind of broad, but don't be afraid to just tell us everything.
Primary, I'd say Lego tips and tricks on top of just, I guess, just interesting info. I like to just kind of show things that anything, like I always explain it this way. If I ever just come across something, I'm like, holy crap, that's really cool. I usually end up making a video about it if I thought it was interesting, like a nerd like me. Hopefully other people will. But I mean, the focus, it's really just, I like to make Lego interesting for not just Lego fans, but people who aren't Lego fans. So like with my Sun experiment and stuff like that, where that's capturing not just Lego fans, but the random Joe Schmo who maybe never even thought about Lego. And then maybe they'll see my other videos, and because I've gotten countless people that are like, oh, I didn't even collect Lego, or they don't collect Lego and they still don't, but they still say they enjoy my content. So I always just try to make it palatable for everyone. Because again, I think Lego is as popular as it is, super underrated in most people's minds. They see it as a toy. They see it as only so much, and it's so much more than that. So I just focus my content on like hyping it up, I guess. Because there's like you said, it's a variety. I mean, I've got tips and tricks like how to straighten a minifigure cape, how to wash your Lego. Trying to go keep going here. I can't think of everything all in one sentence usually because it is so many different kinds of content. But yeah, I mean, it's a variety show for the most part.
That's good.
So I just want to ask, what, just to try and like get into how you come up with stuff. Where'd you get like the idea for specifically like the Sun experiment? Like what made you say, I'm going to do this like very long experiment?
It was kind of just the interesting thought to myself, because I was like, I know Lego yellows, but that's kind of like how quickly and how I want to show. It was kind of like the wanting to show people, like it was almost a PSA too, because in a lot of my videos would be like, this is why you don't store your Lego in direct sunlight. And a lot of people may not realize that. So it was almost like a PSA, but also just like a really cool, like, let's just see what happens and how bad. And I just wanted to see how bad it can get. I've seen some pretty nasty. You get a random brick out of a bulk lot every once in a while. It looks like almost blackened. And I'm like, I want my base plate to get to that point. Whereas the gradient experiment, that's going to end after we fill it all up with the plates or whatever. Yeah. But the other blank base plate, I'm just going to leave that out for years and years, and it'll be fun to, I'll probably do updates less often after that point, but like every maybe once a month or something. But it's just gonna be crazy to see it 3 years down the road, and see what it looks like, and been like, dude, I remember 3 years ago when this guy started it.
Yeah. Well, have you found that it warps a lot too? The Sun?
The one with the plates on it, like you can tell it's like it's being held, like straightened by the plates that are on it, but you can tell it's like it wants to bow one way or the other.
Yeah. That's crazy. I actually, Nate, I was in Orlando a couple of weeks ago, and I saw at the Lego store down there, right outside of it, they have these massive Lego sculptures, and they're really impressive. But when I got up real close to it, I could see like the brown on it was peeling off on the outside of it. And I actually took a video I wanted to send to you and have you get your thought on it. But it was so interesting. I was looking, it was like the whole outside layer was peeling from the sun. It was crazy.
I wonder, because I think they try to beef those up a little extra.
I wonder, they had to put something on it, yeah.
But at the same time, it's interesting because when I started the experiment, I didn't super realize it. but the regular standard base plates, those flat ones, they're actually made with I think it's either a slightly different plastic, or they add even more fire retardant into it, or whatever it is. Or no, I think it's the base plates that they actually try to fortify more for sun, so they should yellow less than a regular brick, because I believe, like, again, it's like a slightly different material, but it's still crazy how yellow it actually has still gotten despite that.
Yeah, well, and it's a different process for making those plates too, versus the regular bricks are injection molded, but the base plates are vacuum formed. If I'm
And
not
we should
mistaken.
see the difference, because I have the third experiment, which is the multicolor experiment that's got, like, I just pulled off as many different colors from my Bricklink store as I could that were brand new bricks, so I can obviously have a nice little sample and know that they were new and hadn't been damaged at that point. But that one obviously has a regular white brick in it, so we'll see if that one single white brick yellows more than the base plate did, because it's a different material. I'm interested.
That is intriguing. Now, would you maybe share with us a little bit on your process for making your video contents? Whether from picking a theme, and how do you film and edit it? What kind of goes into your process?
It's interesting, because sometimes I usually have to see, like, I almost have to know the video back to front before I almost start anything, because then I don't know how to make the first clip or have my intro. And I always, since the beginning, I've always tried shooting in different ways, so it's never always the same format. But I mean, it's essentially pick an idea, whether it be like today, like, oh, I'll just go through my collection, and I usually like to find parts that I have on hand to show in the videos, but I'm honestly thinking about just looking up any part and then just pulling up an image for it. But it's really just like, pick a part that I thought was interesting, or a part that I like that is also high value, and then just digging into it. Sometimes I'll talk right over the clips, and then sometimes I'll take clips and then voice over it. It kind of just depends on the idea, or if my face is showing or not, or how, because I have a very hard time keeping it all up here and going straight. So if I just talk while I'm recording, sometimes that doesn't always look best, because I'm still trying to form the full idea of the video. So sometimes it's just better to record and then voice over after, and chop up the clips so it matches how long my voiceover was. But it's always different. It's like I'm still such a noob when it comes to like, I guess, editing and that kind of the back end stuff. Because, like, when I first started, I mean, you could still go look at my first TikToks I've ever posted. And I think my first TikTok I ever posted was a vertical shot video. So it's sideways on the TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
And there's just nothing. And I started from nothing. So even now I still feel like there's so much I could learn. I almost want to go take like a video editing course at my community college or something, just so I can get a little better. And because there's little stuff that I know I can do better, but for now, I think I've got it fairly figured out.
How old is your TikTok channel?
I think it just hit 3 years old this October. On like
wow. Congratulations.
or something like that. That was like official. I posted a couple times in October of 2019, and then I really didn't start I posted, I think, every a couple times a week at that point, but it wasn't until the beginning of the year in January of 2020 that I got my big start. And the reason I attribute that to is actually, I don't know if you guys were on TikTok at the time. Do you remember the Lego Star Wars profile picture trend?
Yes. Yeah.
So that was I rode that wave. I had less than like a couple hundred followers. I think even less than 100 in January. And basically, when that trend started, a lot of people were like, "Hey, if you have a Lego Star Wars profile picture, follow me." And they were doing that whole thing.
Yeah,
you're siphoning followers just for being a part of a trend. Yeah. And hold on, give me 1 minute. My girlfriend.
Nope, that's okay. No problem.
No. We got a little intermission.
Yeah, well, it's always good to have a little, seventh inning stretch, right?
Yeah, exactly. The episode's going well. We can look at some
we're good.
Comments.
We're good. We're just leaving for work. I just want to say goodbye to her real quick.
Okay. Yes.
But so yeah, the people were kind of, and not in a bad way, but they were just siphoning follows and stuff off the trend.
Yeah.
So I was just like, well, I'm already making Lego content, so I kind of like started making a few of those videos in that way, where it's like, hey, if you're this, but I would also add like, but go check out my profile, because I actually also post Lego content. And I already had a couple months worth of videos posted, so it was really nice that people would actually come. And I started getting, I think by the end of January, I think I had about 20,000 followers.
Nice.
And that
Wow,
was
that's quick
just
growth.
absolutely insane. It was just like, and it's still insane to me. Because I wasn't not expecting it, but at the same time, it's almost like a dream come true when the wheels start spinning like that.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of like went from there. I just started posting. Shoot, in the beginning, I was posting up to like 7 times a day.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like a lot. And my quality was a little bit lower then, and I've increased the quality, so I can't necessarily pump out that much anymore if I wanted to remain the same quality. But one thing I did at the beginning was I called them minifigure highlights, I think. And I don't know if you've seen my little minifigure stand that spins around over the years, but basically
Yeah.
I just built a stand to spin minifigures around in a circle, and I'd take like an 8 to 10 second clip, and then I'd put a bunch of BrickLink info up on the screen, like how much they were, all that kind of stuff. And those videos every once in a while would start to do really well, but that was probably my first ever like main niche within the Lego community, was making those minifigure videos.
What's your like schedule, posting schedule now? How often do you like to post stuff?
Oh shoot, I've been the last couple weeks. Probably a lot of people are probably like, "Hey Nate, it's good to see you." I haven't been live on TikTok in the last couple weeks. I've been doing just dealing with some personal stuff. But honestly, when I'm on my normal flow, it's at least once a day. But obviously, if I come up with another really solid idea, I'll just push right into it, record it, maybe post it later in the day. And then it also kind of depends how well certain videos are doing. Like if videos are doing really well already, I don't feel the need to post 3 in a day. I might just keep it to the 1.
Yeah.
Just to kind of stretch it out a little bit, because I don't want to overwork myself. But at the same time, sometimes it's really good to do that if you're already on a high roll on some of your videos, and you got, at least if it's quality content coming out after that, you kind of know you can kind of keep the ball rolling. And I've definitely fallen off sometimes where I'm like, oh, I'm not getting as many views, and I get a little demotivated. But it's one of those things I've always came back and been like, doesn't matter, just keep making content. It always has gone up and up and up. That's the only advice I have to people for creating content, is like, don't worry about the numbers. And it seems cliche, but at the same time, like, you might have just 6, 7, 8, 10 bad videos in a row that do nothing, but you won't know until you get to the 11th, and now it gets a bunch of views.
Yeah, I mean, TikTok is so just kind of annoying sometimes, and it's just weirdness the way it does stuff. I know yesterday in particular, a lot of people were having problems where they would post a video and then it would just be under review for multiple hours on end.
I've had that happen very rarely, and when it does happen, I kind of just, if it does, I think 99% of the time it's always gotten appealed. I think there was one video recently that just didn't get appealed, and I was like, okay, it was a fluke or something.
Yeah. It's just, TikTok's just annoying, and it's just a very weird app, and they change their algorithm so much, so just constantly.
Oh yeah, it's interesting because I post on like 4 different platforms. I do YouTube Shorts. I even do Facebook Reels, IG Reels, and then the TikToks. And it's interesting to see which platforms do, because sometimes I'm like, oh, TikTok is where I'm going to get most of my views, right? But then some videos I'll post on TikTok, it gets like 50K. But then I post on Instagram, it gets a couple hundred, and I'm like, interesting. So don't beat yourself up, because TikTok is not always the baseline of good or bad.
That is very true. Great advice, honestly.
And that's what, also do post on other platforms, because what if TikTok, you probably are posting good time, whoever you are, you're probably doing the best you can, but maybe it's just not being seen as much there. Try it in another place that might get seen a little bit better. Cover all your bases.
Yeah, that's also
I guess it goes back into my my editing routine and stuff like that. What I do is I edit in InShot, which is an app on, I don't know if it's just iPhone, but you can do any of the CapCuts, whatever. I recommend you edit your videos on one of those, so that way you have a master copy when you're finished.
Yes.
0 watermarks, and then you can just go ahead and post that natively to each app. And then you obviously, if you want to add extra text bubbles to each, but I usually try to add any text bubbles within the editing software, so then it's already there for each upload. And all I really got to do is worry about hashtags and a description.
Now, does your program that you use, what did you say it was again?
InShot.
Does that have a captioning function in it?
No,
or do you use
I use Captions app, which I believe is an iPhone only app, but I think there's something similar on Android.
I've seen ads for that.
But it works really well. And I just noticed, I don't know if you guys have it, but on TikTok, they've updated their captions so you can actually have like bubble text instead of that boxed plain text for your captions. I have the option. I can actually, but for me, that only helps me on TikTok. I want to have captions on all my videos. I want to have to put it on each platform. So I just run it through InShot. Then when that video is done, I run it through captions, and then that's basically my master copy with all the captions.
That is a good way to go, honestly. And one of the things that people used to say was like you could post it to TikTok and then go to like Snaptic and download the
I've
video
always
again
tried
without
that.
the
It never
watermark.
works.
But yeah, and the real problem with that is that there are a lot of cases where you'll download it and then the audio and video will be slightly out of sync. So then you have to put it back into your editor and move things so that they actually line up. Don't waste your time with that. Absolutely keep your master copy on file and edit it in-house. Plus, I mean, I've heard too many horror stories of, somebody shot the entire video within TikTok or Instagram and then something happened. Yeah. And then you lose the entire thing. Woo. Yeah.
Or the whole video is off.
Yeah.
Like the audio is off, and there's
that's
no
the
way
worst.
to fix it then. Yeah.
Yep. That's no good.
They have updated I haven't used it, but they have like the TikTok studio editor now where it's a little bit easier to add stuff and move stuff around, but it's not the same still.
It's easier to snap stuff to where clip changes happen. That's the one thing I noticed on it, but I haven't used it much either because it's much better to edit it out of TikTok first.
I can't imagine editing full video, especially videos like yours, Nate. Like in the TikTok app is just so non-intuitive and non-easy.
And even stitches, I'll usually edit outside because a lot of times, if you stitch something, you have no control over the rest of the video. I think I don't know if the music still plays from their video or something like that. But like,
sometimes
it's hard to tell.
It just glitch. I've seen people do stitches and sometimes it just glitches and adds music that was never even there, and it'll be way louder than your audio.
I can never shoot the clips the way I want them to afterwards or something.
Yeah, there's something weird about it. Yeah.
But then I also feel bad because like stitching, it kind of like gives the person you're stitching like credit essentially. Yeah. I don't like to yoink that credit by any means, but at the same time, I'm trying to make a video that's capturing people's attention. And the best way to do that is to edit it the best way I can.
Yeah. And then you can tag them in the video anyway. Like, I stitched with this person, you put it on there. That's fine.
And then generally, even if you pull their video, even if it's not an official stitch, their watermark will be visible for a few seconds.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Exactly. Which is somewhat something.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to lie. When usually, I don't know. Do you guys click on a lot of original Stitch videos when you watch
I do
Stitch?
sometimes.
It depends on the relevance if you need backstory.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or not.
Yeah. It depends on what you're looking at. Yeah. If they only give you a little bit of context, it's like, well, okay, what's happening here?
Yeah.
Even if I do the occasional lip sync, I'll try to do that outside of the app, even though it's kind of easier to do it in app because the music is playing through the app. But even then, I've noticed it's a little bit off. So I do it a really mundane way. I'll just I'll mouth the words. I'll like play a YouTube video in the background that I want to lip sync and then lip sync it of me recording my face, but you can't hear any of that audio. And then I'll just download that audio track and put it on top. And then hopefully my lip syncing was good enough.
Yeah. It works. It works.
Yeah.
Love you. Bye.
Well,
already.
I would love to know, Nate, do you have any, shall we say, controversial Lego opinions?
Controversial Lego opinions. I think the most controversial one I can think of is stickers aren't as bad as people make them out to be.
I would agree with you on that.
Like, obviously, I think we would always prefer a non-stickered option, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's not possible, but not doable at all times. And a lot of people's arguments are like they peel off and stuff. And I honestly, we'll have to see in the next 10 years because modern stickers are a little bit better than they were in like the 90s where they were like paper finish and moisture could actually get to them and stuff like that. The only thing I can't do an experiment on this because I can't make time move any faster. Let's see how these Lego stickers hold up over the next 10 or 20 years that are being applied in the 2010s and beyond. Because a lot of people's point is like, oh, well, they'll just peel off and look bad. But even then, if a sticker is going to peel off and then look bad in the future, why not put it on now and have it look good for 5, 6, 7 years before it does?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's very valid.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Like the Office set got a lot of heat because of how many stickers are in it, but I love all the stickers that are in it. They're such great stickers.
I think the main thing is they can be a little bit of a pain to actually apply in some cases. It depends. The ones that give me the most trouble
long, skinny ones
are, well, actually the round ones. The one that jumped out to me was the Armorer's Mandalorian Forge had these round curved. It looks like
Yeah,
the
I know what
four
you're
by four
talking
macaroni
about.
tile.
Oh yeah,
Oh
those
man, I had the
they're hard to
hardest
line up.
time getting those on there. Yeah, that was unbelievable.
I
Like
guess
I had
also
to
the
adjust them over and over.
problem with round stickers is they're never centered. If you notice, like
Yeah,
they
the
cut,
printing
like
is
they
off
the cut,
center.
it's not even like because it looks like they cut it out or something,
That's
and
right.
you can
Yeah.
tell it's like a circular shape, but the circular shape within the circular sticker is offset to like the
Yeah.
bottom left. So no,
Yeah.
you either have to
Hmm.
offset the sticker to make the pattern look centered, or you have to
Yeah.
offset the pattern to make the sticker itself look centered.
Yeah.
That's a one pet peeve. But other than that, I don't
Yeah.
have too much controversial Lego opinions that I could think off right off the top of my head.
Yeah. Well, and also having stickers gives you so many more options for different types of pieces that it would cost so much more for them to print everything they've made into a sticker, you know?
They're good for mocks too. Because
Yeah,
there's
very much
certain
so.
stickers, if you get creative, I mean, you can cut them into, if you want to put it on a specific brick that's smaller than the one it was meant to go on, but there's
Mhm.
this really cool wire pattern on it or something like that. It's just
Yeah,
I've
no,
actually in
absolutely.
my mech mock, which is also
Oh,
currently
yeah.
disassembled. I used I think I used stickers from the Ant-Man quantum buggy
Oh,
thing.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
It had a bunch of just wiry type stickers that looked really cool on a mech. It looked like he had wires underneath like his joints and stuff like that.
Yeah, see, that's great. Good
Cool,
details.
cool. So, what are your thoughts on like the current state of Lego? Like the company and just the brand and
I
as a
honestly
whole?
don't know what to think. It's not a bad thing, but it's like I don't know where they're going to keep going. It almost seems like they're getting better, but I almost feel like they're going to start outpricing too many people. Not that like there is because a lot of people say, "Oh, Lego's so expensive now." It's like it's not like they
Yeah.
don't sell $20 sets anymore, right?
Mhm.
But sometimes it feels like you're getting a little bit less, and I feel like the perception of that is due to the level of detail going higher and the pieces getting smaller. Because back in the
Mhm.
day, you felt like you were getting a really big set, but really you were just getting a lot of bulky pieces, which
Yes.
seemed like a really good deal. So the more detailed sets get, the more expensive they're going to seem. I think. Overall, I think Lego's doing great. To be honest, they're pandering to the adult audience like they need to be, and it should like obviously they've been doing for what 10 or 15 years now. It's working out really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree. And then kind of on the other side of it, what about the community, the Lego community, creators, users, and just
It's tough to say because everybody is in their own different pocket of the internet, so it's hard to say like this is what most people think. I couldn't even say confidently that one way or the other of what most people in in the Lego community think about one thing or the other.
yeah,
At
it's so
times,
varied.
I think it can be toxic, and I think the only not toxic, the only negative part of it I see is like around leaks and judging stuff, I guess, overly harshly. And I don't know, people kind of
Yeah,
they expect because it is a mass produced set meant to be easily built by a lot of different people. So a lot of people kind of expect this, I guess, not over quality, but just more than they can do that's plausible for what they're
Sure.
trying to do. It's again, it's a set that's mass produced. There's certain things that you could make better, but you have to remember again, it's mass produced and they're trying to make it as affordable as possible for what it is.
Yeah.
yeah, I
Well, and that's
definitely
why,
agree.
like, you see a comparison between a set that Lego produces, and then you see somebody makes a mock, and they say, "Well, I made this 3 times better." But then you look at it, and you're like, "Well, how many pieces does this use? What types of techniques does it use?
They
Is
also
this
have to
something
work
that
with a
everybody
catalog
could
that
be
they're
able to do?"
restricted to. As a mock
Yes.
builder,
Yeah.
you can use retired parts, you can use
Exactly. Yeah.
all sorts of different stuff that is not they're not going to unretire a part very often for a
No.
one-off
No.
set just to have what they want. And I think it's it's we have more pieces than ever, but at the same time we don't have the pieces we used to have that are going to be used in newer sets.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
and
then
that does present limitations. Yeah.
yeah, and going back to the whole leak thing too, yeah, I feel like we'll get a leaked picture of something and not a very good quality picture of something, and then the leakers will have their opinions on it, and then it's like everybody's set in stone on that opinion already, and we haven't even got an official reveal of it.
I personally don't pay attention to too many leaks. Even when
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lego announces something, that's kind of when I'll look. But I don't have anything against the leak community by any means. Obviously, it's just a curiosity. That's all it is. People want to know
Yeah.
information as soon as they
Yeah.
can. And for me, it's like, well, the set's not going to come out till it comes out. So, and I'm not going to make my decision until I see like everything about it. And usually leaks don't give you everything about it.
Yeah.
And it's a buzz topic, and I respect it totally. If I had the like info to get it like even like just as early as some of those leakers are, the information, being able to post it on Instagram that morning and get views off it, that might be helpful towards my channel, but it's not something I like to like put my effort towards. It's just not my thing.
Yeah, you'd have to like be so on top of things in order to be the very first ones to have that information. I feel like that would be kind of stressful.
And that's what I feel like. I don't, and again, no disrespect to anybody who does this, but I like my content to be like for what it is, not for like something that's kind of like the buzz topic of a leak, where it's like only if its views are on its relevance at the time. I want to be able to make a video and have it be relevant to anybody at any time.
Yeah.
Well, I'm curious. What is something that has come out of the kind of Lego talk or Lego social media that you didn't expect?
Other than growing so quickly, I guess.
That could be the thing.
It's the lack of negativity. That was kind of the most surprising, because, they always say like, oh, once you got haters, you're doing something right kind of deal. And it seems like the whole 3 years I've been on TikTok, it's like every couple of months, it feels like I get one of those guys like, oh, a guy lives in his mom's basement kind of comment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like stupid stuff. But other than that, it's just like been so positive. Nobody coming into my DMs telling me random stuff. It's just, and maybe that's because of the Lego is the topic and it's just wholesome in itself. But it's one of those things. I haven't experienced anything where there's never been a day where I've been like, oh, I'm worried about what people are going to say about me in this video. And I don't feel that way regardless, even if they did have something to say, but I've never even had to be on guard. So that's always something that surprised me, is being, you think millions of followers, like you're getting hate regardless. And I can't say that I have at all.
That's awesome. Yeah. Lego.
That's fantastic.
I think Lego lends itself to that. Yeah. I've never experienced anything like that. Yeah. Definitely no DMs of people just telling me off.
I surely didn't think people would recognize me in public.
Oh, wow.
That happens quite a bit. Not like crazy, but like every couple times. I don't go out as much as I should. It's just like I do a lot of shopping usually for just going around trying to find deals. But when I'm out and about, go to the Lego store, whatever it is. There's so like one random person who will know who I am. And it's just so humbling all the time. So they'll just stop you and be like, hey, are you on TikTok? And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah.
That's cool.
What about like your proudest moment on so far?
Proudest moment as far as like content creation and
like
all that stuff
in general.
I think getting to meet like master builder Alec, like having the notoriety, maybe anybody could have hit him up and had that opportunity, but it still was great to be able to like be a big part of the community and then be able to like go meet someone with that much what's the word I'm looking for, basically he deserves what he has. He's just he's a great builder and all that stuff. It was just great to be able to meet with someone like that probably wouldn't have been able to otherwise, or probably wouldn't have known to otherwise.
Yeah, that's super, super cool.
Now, do you have any thoughts on the future of like Lego social media and where it goes from here? Because it's really kind of evolved a lot, just from the days of when it was really only on the sphere of YouTube. And
it's interesting.
And
I feel like they're really reserved because they're a family company and stuff like that. But it's I wish they did more with featuring creators and stuff, because the whole Lego community depends on the community and the builders within it. And I think on their Instagram they'll highlight mock builders from time to time. I think I've seen a lot of alternate builds and stuff. But I do wish they other than the LAN, I wish there was more of like a direct partnership. Or if they had like, because like I think Nerf is a good example. They have like a face of the company for their TikTok. I can't remember her name. She's a Nerf content creator. And they ended up taking her in as like the spokesperson / face of their TikTok. And I think Lego could benefit from something like that, where
they
there's
definitely
like
could.
A consistent, not a designer, not like this. Like we all love the designers and we love to see them in their videos and stuff. But I think having like that actual face to their different social medias could be helpful, because it is such like a personable product.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, I know they created their TikTok channel like a couple months ago, and
I still don't know if that's real. I still don't know if that's real.
I mean, it's verified, but
well, yeah, you can, because here's the thing: if you can, the only way you can link your IG is if you have the login info. You can't, like, you can put it in your bio, but that button at the top of TikTok, like, that has to be logged in through. I'm pretty sure, and theirs is linked to their official Lego Instagram.
Yeah, but it just their bio is just the eyes looking like they're just here to scoop it out.
Yeah,
it seems like it's free. I mean, and maybe not to them to hire people to get it going, but to be on there, just to have a TikTok is free. Why not at least whatever you're uploading to Instagram, just re-upload it there,
post it there too? Yeah, come on. Yeah,
something
interesting.
I don't know.
Yep. What's one of like your biggest challenges that you've come across while doing social media?
Trying to stay focused. Trying to stay focused and motivated.
Challenges sometimes.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Staying consistent, because like at all times I know what I need to do and I know what I want to do. It's just sometimes making that connection of actually following through with it. That's probably my biggest thing, but that's just a personal struggle in general.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, what I'm curious, is there a theme that you think that maybe Lego should make, or that, you know, if you could have any theme made, you know, what would you like to have Lego do?
Personally, like, this is one of my all-time favorites that I would love, Futurama.
Oh,
Futurama would be amazing. Minifigures alone would be stellar, and then the Planet Express ship is obviously the main deal there. But honestly, just a rant, because it kind of just popped into my head. I want another like city mining theme, not necessarily a power miners, but just another, like, a third generation of the mining kind of theme. I always thought that kids always seem to love it. Everyone has good nostalgia for those themes, and I feel like they just did it again. What kid doesn't like construction stuff? And they could just make it another aliens versus miners kind of thing.
I loved power miners when I was a kid, because that was my era of stuff.
Yeah, that was the successor to Rock Raiders. Yep.
And that would be a good original theme, because they've been almost falling off the boat on their original themes, like Monkey Kid. And here's the thing: I think Monkey Kid looks great, but did they even market that to the Western world at all?
No,
I mean,
it was only in Lego stores.
Yeah, only in Lego stores.
Nobody even knows what it is, and if a kid does pass it, there's Ninjago right next to it that they would much rather get, because they know what that is, and there's a TV show and all that stuff. So I just don't know why they kind of like. I don't know. It's weird. And then same with the football sets being sold. Like, those are probably, I think this could have been a Europe exclusive and been okay.
Yeah. It's interesting, because
I hope they'll do a baseball stadium. That's all they need to do.
Because I would go
so many here.
Yeah. They need Yankee Stadium or something big like that.
Wrigley
that everyone
Field.
knows. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
it's interesting. I'm sure the licensing is complicated with that. I mean, there's some other companies that have licensing for MLB. You know, some other off-brand. Yeah, I don't know, but whatever.
Yeah, it's just because you have to think, like, the thing with football, European football at least, is like, I think the reason they chose that is because, like, it is somewhat followed internationally, but you got to think, like, if they did an MLB set, think about how badly that would sell
do everywhere else.
Yeah, everywhere else.
No, it
other
wouldn't
than
go
America,
anywhere.
it would be, it would be bad.
Yes, it is America's pastime, right?
Yeah, they're interesting though. I wonder if they'll make another one, because there's 3 of them, right?
The football stadiums?
Yeah.
I wouldn't remember. I knew
there's 2 or 3.
I know 2 for sure.
Yeah, the only reason I would buy it is just to get the massive amount of parts.
The foosball.
You know?
Yeah,
foosball. I know, that's so cool.
I think the foosball, I don't think that should have been a set. I think it would have been an amazing mock, but I can't see many people like being like, let's go play the Lego foosball.
Oh yeah, no. I'll get
7
it
hours.
I think it's so novel.
Because I get all of the Lego idea sets. That's like my favorite theme. And it's a cool display piece, but yeah, I don't think people are going to play with it like they think they are.
Because it's supposed to be functional, but it's almost never going to be used functionally.
Yeah, I feel like to be really functional, they needed to make larger size, like more like buildable foosball players. The minifig size is just too small to really be like, you can't get the ball across that. Come on.
Danny Ford Johnson said the Lego City could do a sports-based theme.
Yeah.
Actually, should.
Oh,
That's a very good
ooh,
idea.
They could have their own unique made-up teams.
Even a play scale baseball field would be cool.
Yeah,
That's a lot of
exactly.
plate. It's a lot of plates, I guess. A lot of surface area.
Oh, he said throwback to the older Lego
sets.
sports. Yeah, I remember they had the soccer sets for a long time.
And
And
I would
then they had
NBA.
those spring pieces.
As I'm not a soccer fan at all, but for some reason I had a bunch of those sets as a kid, and I wanted them. I think it was because it was just a fun game to play. Like, and I was a kid at the time, so like those commercials, so good. I remember seeing those football commercials for the football.
They did a good
Lego
job with the
sets.
marketing on that. Yes.
Yeah.
They absolutely did.
And it was actually fun. It was functional. It was a functional little soccer game.
That one. Yep.
Yeah, very, very cool.
That's it. From the year 2000.
Wow. And then if you could have them make any like one-off minifigure, what would you want it to be?
It's interesting. I never thought about that before. One-off minifigure, and probably assuming one that hasn't been done before.
Yeah.
Everything on the planet. So, I'm trying to think of a cool big fig.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that would be, yeah. There's not a lot of big figs.
Honestly, if we're going to talk minifigures, just something Futurama.
Really?
Yeah.
Like a Dr. Zoidberg. I think it'd be hilarious with a minifigure head.
Yeah, like a custom molded head for him.
Yeah, they'd have like the Simpsons heads, basically, where they're just mold.
Yeah.
So since they already did Simpsons, it would not be a big stretch to do Futurama, I feel like.
No, I think Simpsons is almost a little more crude to an extent.
Yeah.
I don't know. Futurama is under the table inappropriate, where you don't catch it right away.
Yeah.
or Simpsons is like right in your face kind of fart jokes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to see them bring Simpsons back. I mean, Disney owns all that stuff, so, and Disney and Lego seem to have very good friendly partnership with each other, so
Yes, very symbiotic.
yes.
As long as the money's flowing.
Exactly.
Yep, exactly. Well, I think that brings us into what we like to call the speed round.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. So these are going to be just a or B answer without any thoughts type of questions.
Okay.
All right. First off, scary movies or comedies?
Comedies.
Okay.
I don't hate scary movies, but usually I don't see them as good.
Yeah, that's fair. They're hard to come by. Hamburger or pizza?
Oh, dude, that's the hardest choice ever, but hamburger.
Okay. Mega Constructs or Playmobil?
Mega Constructs. Playmobil looks so weird.
Yeah.
There's like Christmas ornaments.
Totally different system.
They're weird, very like perfectly circle heads. Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Good choice.
Follow the instructions or Mox?
I say follow the instructions just because I've built way more sets than I've done mocks. So I can't justify saying I'd like to do that more because I haven't done it yet.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings?
Lord of the Rings. I'm sorry. I haven't ever seen an episode of Game of Thrones.
Me
I'm sorry,
neither.
everybody out there.
I'm
I'm sure
with
it's
you.
amazing. I'm
I'm
sure
with
it's
you.
amazing.
Yeah, it's all good. How about this one? Keanu Reeves or Brendan Fraser?
Keanu Reeves forever.
Yeah.
Brick separator or fingers and teeth?
Brick separator every day. Every day.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. How about the MCU or DCEU?
MCU. Unfortunately, I don't not like DC, but I haven't been impressed by any of the movies in the last 10 years or whatever it is.
Yeah, that is an unfortunate
Iron Man
truth.
1 hooked me immediately. So like there's just no
absolutely,
question.
yeah.
I saw that when I was like a freshman in high school. It was just amazing.
Yeah. Oh, blew my mind. Yeah.
Yeah. And then if you could travel back in time to get either the original Cloud City playset or a Mr. Gold figure, which would you get?
Assuming I automatically get the Mr. Gold looking
Yes.
for him.
Yes.
Okay. Dude. I think like the money part of me says Cloud City, but honestly, I would have loved to hunt for the Mr. Gold. I wasn't at all in the, but it would have been fun to go store to store, just feeling them up. I think so I'll go with Mr. Gold.
All right, and then finally, Obi-Wan Kenobricks or Brick Chef?
Oh man. I don't know. I know both of your content just as well. I can't even be like, oh, I haven't seen much of yours or much of his.
No, it's okay.
We're gonna go
It's kind of a funny question.
purely based on the display behind you. Obi-Wan Kenobricks. There's more built Lego.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I
There's
have
a lot of Lego on the
my
back.
parts wall behind me. So
Yeah. Well,
Well,
thank you so much.
That's a
for
mean
playing.
question.
It is terrible. It's terrible.
yes, it is. It is.
We are all winners here.
Yes. And that about wraps it up. Real quickly, Epic, where can they find all of your different content?
I am EpikBricks, just as you see it here. Where is it? Here.
Yes.
On all socials. I don't have another way of spelling it or putting it. So if you want to find anywhere you could think to look at me, it's EpikBricks with a K.
EPIK. That is right. Yep.
Yeah.
With the iconic K.
Iconic.
Yes. Well, that about wraps us up for today. You are awesome, Epic. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks.
If you
Love to
haven't
come on again, that's
heard...
definitely a goal of mine, is to get more onto some of these podcasts that other people are throwing.
Well, yeah,
we had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, we'd love to have you on in the future. That'd be great. You can just be like a normal participant and talk about one of our normal topics with us.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be super fun. But until next time, you can get us on all of the normal podcasting services, and you can check out our other episodes that we have as well. So until then, we will see you guys next time.